Spell checking. Before we get into spell checking, I guess I want to talk about right-clicking. Typically, you right-click and you get some kind of a menu. Okay. Now, depending where you right-click, you're going to get different menus. See, I'm right-clicking up here, and it's giving me options where I can add things to this toolbar. If I right-click on a blank area, I get this list. If I right-click on a word, I get a different list altogether. So it's trying to guess what it is you'd like. It's like a butler, and you summon your butler, and you asking what is it that you would like. We even get a little toolbar that we never used to get, allowing us to format a word. So if you select a word by double-clicking it, and then you right-click, you can make that entire word bold or change different formatting features about it. So right-clicking summons some kind of a menu. Now, I want to talk about spell checking. I've just written out some words for you, and it's supposed to say I can spell very well as long as I have my spell checker on, which unfortunately is the case for much of our generation. We take for granted that Word's going to fix everything for us because it often does. So if it's underlined in red, it means it's a spelling mistake. Now, a couple ways of fixing this. If you've only got a few mistakes, you can simply right-click on your spelling mistake, check the top of the list, and oftentimes the proper spelling is going to be there. So if I click the right one, it replaces it with what I've just selected. So right-click on your mistake, right on the mistake. Okay. Now here, it hasn't got a clue what you did here. So it's offering no suggestions at all. So you may have to change this manually. For the other ones, it's guessing quite well. Now, this is one way of doing your spell check. The old traditional way, if you've got a lot of mistakes and you've got like a really big document, first of all, make sure you don't spell check as you're working. Like everything else in Word, make it, then make it pretty. In other words, type the whole thing in. I don't care how many mistakes you've got. All right? If somebody's looking over your shoulder, tell them to go away. Finish your work. Then when you're done, then spell check it. So I finished my work. Let's say this is all I need to type. So now I can spell check. Now, I put a shortcut for spell check up here because it's something I use on a regular basis. All right? So I'm going to my spell check. And this is your window for your spell check. Hasn't changed in years. Ignore once. You would ignore if it's somebody's name or if it's the name of a city. If you know that you've hit it more, that you've typed that more than once, then hit ignore all. So this way, every time the person's name or the city's name comes up, it won't be flagged as another mistake. So ignore once means I know I spelled it once, but it's right, so leave it alone. Ignore all means every time it comes up, leave it alone. I know that it's not in the dictionary. So proper names, names of people, names of certain cities are not going to be in the dictionary. Speaking of the dictionary, your name may not be in the dictionary. You're going to want to add that on your personal computer so that every time you type your name, it isn't flagged. The name of your city may not be in your dictionary. You may end up working for an industry where they have all kinds of names for things. You may want to add all of those things to the dictionary so that they don't get flagged as mistakes. These down here mean change. So whatever you do, don't count on the first suggestion always being right because it's not always right. So find the one that is correct and then hit change. If you think you've made the same mistake often, you would of course say change all. So here I have spell twice in this document. So I'm going to say change all, right? Now, it doesn't appear to have changed all up here. We'll see how that works later. Vary, again, the first one happens to be right. Don't count on that always being the case, though. So I'm going to hit change again. And here I've got the word well, and that happens to be right. As, it's the first one, so yes, change. Here I wanted the word long. So in this case, the first one isn't correct. I have to physically click on that one and then hit change. As, I'll hit change. Have, it's the first one, I'll hit change. Okay, so it did correct spell. It didn't do it automatically when I said change all, but when it got to the second occurrence of that mistake, it did fix it automatically. And here I want the word checker, okay, and it doesn't know. I messed this word up so bad that even the spell checking word can't figure out what I was trying to do. And this does happen at times, and this is what you have to do. I'm going to my keyboard, and I'm going to hit backspace to get rid of the bad letters, and then I'm going to type in the letters that I know have to go in there, then I still have to hit change. And now it's done. Another thing you need to know, it's a great tool in Word, is you can right-click on any word, and you can get a list of synonyms for those words. So if I want to replace advanced with something that means the same thing, I can right-click on advanced, go to synonyms, and look, I'm getting a list of words that mean the same thing. So I can use sophisticated. And by just clicking it, it replaced it. So if you think you're using the same words or over and over and over again, you can right-click on that word and try to find a synonym. Or if you're doing some creative writing, rather than reaching for your dictionary or your dictionary of synonyms, Word's got it built in. Great little feature, fast, easy to use. I recommend it to everyone.